My name is David Guas. I'm the chef owner of Bayou Bakery in Arlington, Virginia. Here today on Do Food talking about crawfish tamales. This was one of those things that I grew up eating in Abbeville, Louisiana, which is where my aunt's from, about 3 hours west of New Orleans. And I first had my first crawfish tamale when I was about 9 years old, and from then on it was something that I tried to recreate. Very simple ingredients, starting with Louisiana crawfish tail meat. We're going to go ahead and do something we call the holy trinity here: onions, bell peppers, and celery. The essential ingredients to get started for Louisiana cooking. We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of olive oil in the saute pan, crank it up, add a little bit of butter. At this point we're going to go ahead and add our onions, our bell pepper, and our celery. Then we're going to go ahead and add our garlic, fresh chopped. Just going to sweat this till they become translucent. At this point we're going to go ahead and add the crawfish tail meat to the translucent sauteed trinity. So in the off season, if you're not able to get fresh crawfish and boil them and clean them yourself, there's a great product available that it's a frozen tail meat, and that's what we're using in this case. So at this point we've sauteed, we've added our crawfish tail meat. We're going to go ahead and add our ground cayenne pepper and our kosher salt. And then we're going to add our flour, and that's just going to help sort of bind all those juices together so that our filling doesn't run all over the place when we go to add it to our tamale. Just going to cook this out for about another minute or two. So again, we get rid of that sort of starchy flavor of that flour, that uncooked flour flavor. So normally I wouldn't add hot sauce to this particular dish, but we've found a very unique hot sauce that's actually produced right there in Shenandoah, Virginia, not far from the restaurant, about an hour west of us. And it's produced by the Henry family. And this stuff is just liquid heat. It is absolutely out of control hot. It's made with a strand of ghost pepper that they brought back, the family brought back from India. And I do advise safety goggles when using this hot sauce because it is that spicy and that hot. And we're going to even go as far as using a pair of tongs and go in here with just a couple drops. And I mean a couple drops because once it's in there you can't go back. And this is going to give that crazy smoky heat. That was more than a couple, but that's all right. And then we're going to just stir this in together. Go ahead and remove our goggles. God, it's already smelling them as my nose hairs are burning and my eyes are starting to water. That was, I think, probably 4 or 5 drops, and you can just smell the intense heat already. Now all that hot sauce is in there. We're going to go ahead and just transfer it to a bowl to cool it down in the refrigerator. That way it'd be easy to handle and stuff our masa with for our tamale. Now that our crawfish tamale filling is nice and cool, I've set up my steamer. It's on, it's hot, it's got plenty of water, and it's ready to go. We're going to start to make the masa mix itself. What I have on the stove ready to go is a warmed chicken stock, and then I've got my instant masa right here. Now I prefer to use a yellow corn, and I'm just going to take this warm chicken stock. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, kosher of course, just to the masa, stir that around. I just love the yellow versus the white corn. I think it's just got a nice sweeter note, especially when we're dealing with this type of heat and flavor. Just going to work all that warm stock in there. Obviously working with a warm stock, it's going to help to set up that instant masa a little faster. You can smell how sweet the corn is once this chicken stock hits the masa. I think that's going to do it for us. And that's what we're going for, is this sort of final, very spreadable, pliable. You don't want it to be too thick, too tight, and you don't want it to be soupy and wet. So at this point we've got our tamale, our actual corn husks that are already in the warm water, ready to go. Just to make them pliable, you want to submerge them for about 20 to 30 minutes. We've done that ahead of time. Just going to go right onto a towel and just sort of pat them dry a little bit, move it to a nice clean work surface. For any smaller ones that you run across, which you will run across, you just sort of tear little strips starting at the top And that's going to act as sort of your twist ties, your security once you're starting to stuff these guys. So you'll run across some that are smaller. A lot of times what people do is they'll sort of double up too. If you have a smaller one, a larger one, you can overlap them. But I just prefer to use them as the tying strips. So we're going to take a nice disher to make sure they're nice and consistent. And we're going to put that right sort of in the center of the tamale itself. And then a little bit of warm water just to work with. You're going to sort of smear that down. You can also use a spoon. Just give it a nice spread. At this point, we're going to go ahead and add our filling, which is nice and cooled down. Probably about two tablespoons or so of the filling in each tamale. And at this point, we're just going to take the ends like this, and we're going to sort of roll them back and forth, cradling them until they sort of touch. You can see how I've done it right there. And at that point, you can do sort of a roll and then a tuck. So if you find the first couple ones that you pull out are hard to work with, just give it a few more minutes in the warm water. At this point, we're going to go ahead and tie it off. It's amazing how durable these husks are. So we've got 6 of them ready to rock. We're going to go right to our steamer. And you can see what we've done, we've actually created a little bit more of a shallow bed here. We had a deep basket, and we've just created a little bit of foil and punched some holes in there. It'll allow us to not have to go so deep. And you can really pile them in here. I mean, they could essentially be on top of each other. It's just really about trapping the heat. So crowd them in there, load them up, be ready to rock in about 30 to 40 minutes. All right, we're back 35 minutes later. Check on our tamales. They've been going away here for a while in this nice steam bath. We're gonna go ahead and cut off our flame and plate up these bad boys to devour. You can smell the hot sauce. I mean, right when that steam hit me, I'm already starting to tear up a little bit. Go ahead and just cut one of them open right at the knot. Split it open. And we'll finish it with a little bit of beautiful green onion. You can see how it just kept its shape, steamed up real nice. Look at all that steam coming out. It's moist, it's tender, it's beautiful. You can smell the crawfish, you can smell all of that. I'll go ahead and dig in here and see what we're left with. That's what I'm talking about right there. Got the crawfish, you got the trinity, the masa, ooh, the hot sauce. It's good. It's hot, it's spicy, it's flavorful. I'm David Guas, you're watching Dude Food. Don't forget to subscribe.
See bangers and mash like never before here with Richard Blaze's Spicy Chorizo Sausage Burger. This amazing egg and cheese sandwich will make sure you never look at a fast food breakfast sandwich the same way again. Europe's boot heads south of the border with spaghetti tacos that take the comfort food game to a whole new level. Feel like having your face melted off? On second thought, maybe just watch The Office stomach the hottest pepper on earth. Subscribe for more free tasted treats.